I care about my patients and I care about my clients. I care about my friends, my family, and myself. But someone who's just trying to start an argument or who doesn't know what they're talking about, I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Hi everyone, it's Laura and I hope you're all doing well. So for those of y'all who are new to my channel, I'm a registered dietitian. And I know quite a few of y'all are interested in becoming dietitians, or you may be in school to become one. So I thought I would make a video on the pros and cons of being a dietitian and the things I like about being a dietitian and the things I don't like about being a dietitian, and just giving you some food for thought if you're trying to figure out if it's something you want to do. So to kind of preface, I've worked in outpatient, I've worked in community, I've worked in inpatient. In regards to inpatient, I've worked in the psych ward, I've done ortho, I've worked in the ICU, oncology, I've worked on step-down units, I've worked on general medical floors. What else did I do? I've worked a lot of places. In regards to outpatient, I've done solid organ transplant, I worked in an HIV clinic, and so I've worked in a lot of different areas. I do online stuff, and so I wanted to give you all the things I like and the things I don't like. So if you're interested, then keep watching. So the first thing I do like about it is your job is what you make of it. So it can be really hard or it can be really easy. There are jobs out there working as a dietitian that are extremely challenging, and there are jobs that aren't challenging at all. The same can be said for the amount of hours. So you can find a job where you just work 40 hours a week. You can find a job where you're full-time, but you may be working 80 hours a week. It's literally what you make of it. There are all types of jobs out there. There's full-time, part-time, there's per diem. I've worked at jobs where the culture, the environment is to work really hard and to do a lot of things and to always be busy. And then I've worked at jobs where the culture is more relaxed and more chill and isn't as like always having to do something. And that's something I really like, because I've gone through different areas of my life areas where my job is my priority and it's what I want to work on, and other areas where I care about my job, but there's, I really want to travel or I really want to have a social life, and that's my priority. And so I go to work my 40 hours, and then I have a life outside of work. And so it really is, you can find a job for you anywhere. So my first con kind of goes hand in hand with my first pro. In the majority of the jobs, you have to be at that location. So the majority of the jobs aren't remote. You can't work from home. Some of the jobs you can see your patients, and if you're there for 8, 9, 10 hours and you're still not done, then you may be able to chart from home. But the majority of jobs are 9 to 5. Yeah. My next pro is you're able to connect with people and watch them improve their health, which can be extremely, extremely rewarding. Like you can be having just like a crummy day for whatever reason, and then you go into a patient's room and you educate them on whatever it is you're educating them on, and you see that light bulb go off and they start to connect their diet to their health and start realizing what it is they need to change and start connecting the dots, then it is super, super, super rewarding. And when you leave those patients' rooms, you're just like, wow, like this is why I became a dietitian, to make a difference. And whether you're inpatient or outpatient, I know outpatient dietitians, they have more of a follow-up, and so you're able to see the progression more. And that's kind of what everyone says. But honestly, so the hospital I worked at in Alabama here, I saw that follow-up because so many patients got readmitted. And so I would see the same patients all the time, even though I worked in the hospital. So a lot of times it's not like, especially if you work at a smaller hospital, in a smaller area, a smaller city, it's not like the patient goes home and you never see him again. The majority of patients get admitted back into the hospital, and a lot of times they get readmitted back onto your floor. And so when I was on the oncology floor, I saw the same patients would get readmitted every month for their chemo treatment. So they would be in the hospital for a week. So even though I was inpatient, I had a lot of follow-up, and I did get to see that progression. So even though outpatient clinic, you probably do get to see that more. However, a lot of times patients don't show in the outpatient clinic, which is a problem in our profession. But you do get that in the inpatient. A con is that insurance only pays for certain diseases to be seen by us. But the last time I looked up, in the outpatient setting, we can charge for patients that have kidney disease, diabetes, and who are morbidly obese with a BMI greater than 40. And so unfortunately, just because someone wants to see us doesn't mean that their insurance will pay for it. They have to have a certain diagnosis in order for insurance to pay for it. My next pro is that there is literally always something new to learn. There's always something new out there about food, nutrition. There's always new research articles coming out. There's always new fad diets to learn about. There's literally, you can never stop learning, which I love. I love that it's not one of those jobs where you kind of max out on what you know. You know, science is ever evolving, and I love that about it. A con is it can be socially annoying. I mean, you can imagine as soon as someone finds out you're a dietitian, then they have a lot of questions, which I understand. You know, if I wasn't a dietitian, I would be the same way, you know. I totally get it. But at the same time, when you're socializing, you want to socialize and just like chill and not be working. I sometimes will fudge the lines because I have a property, my townhome, I have it on Airbnb, and so sometimes if I'm not really gonna ever see the person again, then I'll just say like, oh, I have an Airbnb property and just kind of go that route instead of talking about as like we're eating, you know, like not the healthiest foods. I'll kind of go that route instead of saying I'm a dietitian. But yeah, socially it can be quite annoying. The next one, and this is honestly probably my favorite thing about being a dietitian, is the camaraderie. So dietitians are extremely close-knit. As soon as we find out someone else is a dietitian, it's just like, oh my God. Like we are very, very tight as a community, and it's such a small world. And literally, not all my best friends, but the majority of my best friends are dietitians, whether I've met them at jobs, whether I've met them through my internship, through Auburn. We get along so well because we're so similar. We have a lot of the same personality traits, a lot of the same things that annoy us about people. You know, like we're all pretty driven and motivated individuals. And so I absolutely love that. So yeah, the last thing, the last con is that a lot of people think they're nutrition experts. So they think they know what they're talking about and that they heard something and it must be true. I mean, the other day, my boyfriend was getting a tattoo, and the tattoo artist was talking about how he was doing something to eliminate the toxins in his body, and it was just like total rubbish. And I was just like, okay, you know. And I know a lot of times people are saying that because they're wanting feedback. You know, they're saying it to see what my response is. And then you get people who are very headstrong on, you know, what they're doing is right and nothing you say is going to change their mind, which is fine, but I just don't argue. I care about my patients and I care about my clients. I care about my friends, my family, and myself. But someone who's just trying to start an argument or who doesn't know what they're talking about, I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, I hope these helped y'all out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. I hope y'all are all doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.